little fast and easy for a little boy to get. And Big Mama put to herself, let me tell you something, little girl. While wise people learn from others. So if taught knowledge is what you learn by reading and observing other people, and bought knowledge, you need to bought knowledge. I know in this world they say the owner of Mercedes-Benz in a commercial trying to prove to you how good the airbags and the seatbelt work. You never see the CEO, the CFO, or the owner of Mercedes driving the car into the wall. And they call it crash. Crash what? A fool learns from their own. See what I'm saying? You don't see scientists in the laboratory mixing test tubes, and then they say, oh, let me take a sip of that to see what happens. No, they have lab rats, don't they? Yes, sir. Whenever they are inventing medicine, they always find white mice down on the inside. And I didn't like the fact that I was starting to, and every last one of them said we was getting money just like you. I said, get money just like you. What you already became a mechanical engineer. If he tells you what he did, that get taught knowledge. More than America. You got a job? Just over. This should be what is the most. When man is being made, it says, let us make. We follow his formula. Does this make sense? And you know you're oppressed. But notice, surviving this time is greater to make your mind strong. The other thing that builds up the mind is Caucasian Jesus. The higher you are up, the higher you are. You'll end up paying you for it over time. Does this make sense? Finding the purpose for living. Now, wherever you get who a person truly is found out by the. That's going to be you 5 years later. People. It's all you got to lean in. See, little children are very, very anything. I asked the Lord for somehow for living. Young. The way of saying work about hear my words, comfort 7,009 coming off of its surface. But a circle or a revolution produces two forces, centripetal or centripetal force. Centripetal force is whenever an object spins and sucks things to it. Centripetal is when an object spins and begins to repel things from it. Tornadoes suck things in and break it up. That's centripetal force. But the original PlayStation or Xbox, the first PS5, a.k.a. the merry-go-round. Y'all don't know about the merry-go-round. Y'all remember the merry-go-round at the park? They still got it. They got a few of them now. But you get on that thing, you know I'm talking about the one that you got to hold on, right? Then you get somebody real strong, and they start swinging. What everybody say? Get to the middle. Why? Because centrifugal force is going to pull you off and throw you off of it. The mind is so powerful that not only do the thoughts moving around these 14 billion brain cells activate centrifugal force, but they also activate centripetal force at the same time. Whatever we think about most of the time is rotating in our mind, and we begin to attract by the law of centripetal force people, situations, and circumstances that match the nature of our thoughts. And we began to repel people, situations, and circumstances that are opposite the nature of our thoughts. So if we think powerful thoughts, we began to repel weakness and draw powerful people, circumstances, and situations to our life. Whatever you want in your life, you got to think about it. As it is written in the scripture by the wisest man of the Bible in Proverbs 23:7, Solomon, he said, as a man not driveth, not weareth, not haveth in the pocket, but as a man what? Think of it as hard. So see, this means that your life is your mind turned inside out. What we don't have is a direct result of what we don't know. If we knew better, we could do better. And if we did better, we'd be better, have more, and make things happen. I'm saying that to say that at the end of the day, if you got the mindset, moving inside of your purpose, going after that taught knowledge, trying to get good friends and make your friends that are not good into good friends, and your spirit is, there's nothing more powerful than a made-up mind. Whether you you want to be a mechanical engineer, a basketball player, a lawyer, or a football player, or soccer player, whatever you want to be, if your mind is made up, there's no power in the heaven above nor the earth beneath that can stop you from being what you want to be. Because there really is nothing more powerful than a made up mind. Thank y'all for listening. I preach in peace. Thank you so much, Mr. Brother. All right. Well, I'll try to rush through it so we can have enough time for a little dialogue. Is that okay with y'all? I want to ask, is there anyone that has any... Oh, man, I'll stop. Any questions that you may want to ask? Any questions that came to your mind? Anybody? No questions?
I got no questions. Brother Nerd.
Yes, sir. Robert Collier.
And you said that he said the most important thing was
3/4 encouragement, 1/4 information.
and the piece of them seeing themselves. What was that you said?
He said the statement he made when they were forming Western education, and that's the reason why they make sure that no matter what they teach, it always has their face on there.
Their image.
Keep their image on everything, even the stuff that they ain't supposed to have their image on. They slap their face on stuff that they stole from us. Because they know, this is what Robert Collier said, that education is 1/4 information and the other 3/4 is encouragement. And nothing encourages a person like seeing people that look like them that have accomplished great feats in the past. So the more we learn about people that did great things in the past that look like us, our mind begins to say, if they could do it back then, I know I can do it right now. Matter of fact, if they can do it back then and they didn't have no internet, no cell phone, no car, they didn't have all the stuff we got now, I can do not even what they did, I can even do more than what they did. And that's where they get their power from in the present, because they're connected to the power of their own people who look like them in the past. That's how we can get our encouragement. Anybody else? I seen my sister in the green over there. She had her hand up earlier. She made a gate. You still have a question?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
After you done.
All right. They want to interview some of y'all. Y'all better say something good. Yes, Francis. Yeah.
From a woman's perspective, what advice do you give to the men on how to just deal with women? I have found that men and women are more fighting at each other than we are listening and respecting each other. And it's like we're competing with each other when we're trying to transfer wisdom to one another. So what advice do you give to the men to not be so intimidated or competitive with the woman versus seeing us as an equal versus we have to compete with each other?
Well, this is not by the choice of the black woman or the black man. This is by design from a society that wants to see us at odds with each other. Remember that in 1798, Napoleon was hired by England to go around the world and destroy all of the images of black excellence he could find. Temples, mystery schools, knock down all the images of the black saints, the black messengers, the black prophets, black inventors, got rid of all of those images so we would have that encouragement. He also went inside of the pyramid gizzard that I talked about earlier. And if you go in there now, you can see the man Osiris, the man Alaphon, and the man Osai. But next to all the men that were considered gods, somebody's been scraping the image away. Guess what it was? Never was there a time that you found Osiris without his queen Isis. You never seen Osai without his queen Aset. You never seen Alaphon, the man, without his queen Illidan. So what was he doing? He knew that the message from my ancestors was not behind every strong man, but beside every strong black man. There's always been a strong black woman. So they didn't want us to know that our power base is really our family. Coexisting, cooperating with each other is where we get our power from. So what do they do in this world? The job of the man, the gender-specific command of a man, according to all Scripture, is to maintain, to protect, and to provide, right? Brothers, that's true?
Yes, sir.
The woman's gender-specific commands was to be the helpmeet of that man, right? Comfort and consolation. That's the scripture. What's happening now, though? You go as a man to get a job, they won't give it to you, but they'll give it to your woman. What are they doing? Turning the thing upside down and inside out. So now she's the breadwinner. So now she's providing. She's more maintained. She's more solid. She's more secure. So this is what's happening, Sister Chanel. We've been turned upside down and inside out. We've been made into enemies of one another. So it's a both-sided thing. As a man, we have to strive to get our rightful place back. We'll never get the hood right until we get the home right. And we'll never get the home right until we get the head of the home right. And the head of the home is supposed to be the man. But the head of the home cannot be the head of the home unless he got a head himself. Does that make sense? So the resurrection of the mind of the man is paramount so that we can secure our spot again. And then as a woman, you've got to know that we live in a world that is diametrically opposed to my man being successful. So I cannot sit here and think that because he doesn't have and we don't have, that's because he's not trying hard or not doing what he's supposed to be doing. No, he's just being told no while I'm being told yes. And they're doing it so that they can put us at odds with one another. So as the female, you're patient with that man. And you still honor that man even though he might make less than you make because you know he's in a world that's opposite of himself. And then as a man, you keep on working hard, doing the best you can to be the protector, be the provider, and be the maintainer on the spiritual, emotional, mental, biological, and physical level. And I promise you, even if she makes more money than you, ask anyone. If she sees you as a hard-working man that got knowledge in your head, that's willing to put your life on the line for her and the children, or even kill for her and the children, has emotional intelligence where you are a good listener, physically willing to protect and put your life on the line and protect her, biologically you know how to offer the physical love that is beyond the bedroom, but it's the intimacy that comes with the proper touch and tone that you use. Let you master all of those areas of maintenance. And then your intellectual maintenance, she knows that she can use you as her primary soundboard, that she bounces an idea off of you. You can take her idea, add to it, and then give it back to her better than she gave it to you. I promise you the respect will be back for us as men. And we'll be able to get the home back in balance. So that's the competition. It's because of the world that we live in, that men fill up the prisons, women filling up universities. This is the truth. The same amount of black men that are incarcerated are the same amount of black women that are enrolled in college right now. And the same amount of black women that are incarcerated are the same amount of black men that are enrolled in college. So just a few thousand black women are in jail. So just a few thousand black men are in universities. Millions, though, of black men are in jail. And millions of black women are in colleges and universities. So the whole world has become vast Africa. Y'all didn't catch that. Y'all didn't catch that. So that's what has to happen. Yes, ma'am, Sister Jasmine.
One more question. What is your advice for all the men in the room on how to cope with pain? I feel like I see a lot of black men hold it in and it come out in the wrong way, or they don't find safe spaces where they can really release themselves. So what advice do you have for them so they don't hold all that pain?
So this is the reality. A problem is only a problem when you lack the knowledge on how to solve it. If you have knowledge on how to solve a problem, you don't even call it a problem, it's just a situation. So the reason why we are under pain and stress is because we don't have the knowledge, that power, that force that allows us to overcome barriers and obstacles in our life. So as a man, the number one relief for our pain is not talking to somebody on the couch, not meditating, not the number one release valve is getting the knowledge to solve the problem that produced the pain. This is a world that all they do is suppress symptoms. Don't cure nothing. Doctors shouldn't even be called doctors in this world. They're really pharmacologists. They're legal drug dealers. That's what a pharmacologist is. All they do is they look at their little ICD-9 book. You come in with a complaint. All right, here. Go down to the trap house called CVS or Walgreens. Go to the back of this scribble in their surgery in the back and get you some dope. Never trying to solve the problem that produced the symptom, just trying to suppress the symptom that's connected to the problem. So phase one of pain elimination is we have to start getting more knowledge to solve the problem. Guess what? The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said this. He said the solution to every problem is found in a book somewhere. Now we have access to books at the touch of a phone. With Google. You can put in what you're thinking about and you can start reading all about it. Whatever problem you have, and you can come up with the requisite knowledge that you can apply and work out a solution for your problem, and pain won't even exist. But if you do need, there's a prayer we say. And in it says to God, suffice me with what is lawful, to keep me away from that which is prohibited. Everybody knows that prayer works. The only person that doesn't think that prayer works is because they want prayer to change things. Prayer does not always change things for you, but prayer will always change you for things. So don't look at that. We always pray for something to be gone. No, instead of praying for the problem to be gone, pray for the strength to get rid of it yourself. Change for the thing. Don't make the thing ain't always going to change for you. But in that prayer, it says, suffice me with what is lawful. That means there's a whole lot of things that we can do that are non-offensive to people and don't violate the laws of God that can relieve us of stress. Did you know exercise is one of them? There's a book called Spark. Check it out. This is a book where a doctor that was a traditional practitioner got tired in his family practice giving drugs to people, and the people be on drugs till they were dead. Never really getting no change and no power. So he started studying exercise therapy. And he took people that had physical, mental, digestive, brain problems and started giving them workout regimens. And they had certain prescriptions of exercise that was able to defeat depression, anxiety, bipolarism, digestive problems, just from certain amounts of exercise. And I've done a series on it that you can see. It's on my SoundCloud. It's a 4-part series, 3 or 4 parts, called Fit to Live. But it shows how to use exercise as a therapy to help get rid of stress, pain, and solve problems in life. So you got to find out what you like doing that gets you. You know what they found out? That if you move your body, your brain has no choice. If you move your body, the brain has no choice. They found that exercise doesn't just burn calories. It also burns negative energy. So figure out, do you like running? You like riding bikes? You like lifting weights? You like boxing? You like martial arts? You like the elliptical machine? You like the stairmat? What do you like doing that gets your heart rate up for a certain amount of time that you can use that as that lawful thing to relieve stress? Go on walks. Do you know that and look, when you go on a walk, take out your AirPods. We're going to talk about it in the next class, but I'm going to show you a video next time on what music can do, negative music can do to rice, to apples, and even to regular water. There's a scientist in Japan named, I can't think of his name, but I'll bring it to you. But they take, you can see it on YouTube, matter of fact, one of these. They took an apple and they began to play negative music to it and watch the apple decay. And then they took the same apple, other half of it, playing good, positive, clean music and watched it keep its life. They took a glass of water and they was feeding it back this with this heavy metal. Now heavy metal is negative, but it's not as negative as the music we listen to as black people. The music we listen to way worse than heavy metal, rock and roll, all that. The music, the stuff they're saying nowadays is 100% toxic. So they put heavy metal on water in a jar in one room. A whole other room they put a speaker, had classical music. They took the water out a week later and put the water under the dark field microscope that was under classical music, and the crystals of the water, the molecules had formed together in a pattern that resembled a beautiful snowflake. Clean, organized. Then they took the same water they played heavy metal to for the whole week, and they put it under the same dark field microscope. The water was dirty, disconnected, misfigured, and disorganized. You say, what does that have to do? Do you know your water sits on, your brain sits on water? Yeah, the brain sits on water. The body is 75% water. So if it's doing that to water, what's it doing to our brain? So go on a walk. This is therapy. Take out your AirPods and listen to God's band. His symphony. That's birds. That's crickets. That's the sound of the wind through the trees. And just look at all of them. Pay attention to the grass, the trees, the flowers. Look at all the different kinds of it. Listen to all the different sounds that you hear. And God himself is a musician. Every instrument that they play in an orchestra is a duplicate of either a bird or an insect. The drum is the heartbeat. That's where they got the sound of the drum from. Listen to the heartbeat. So we are walking music. Have you ever listened to the way water sounds on the ocean? Sounds just like a round of applause from a whole lot of people. So go out there and listen to God clap with the water. Listen to the Lord of the worlds using his instruments, the birds and the insects and the wind, to play the music, and you'll find how therapeutic it'll be. That's another thing you can do. What else can you do? There's a book out called How to Eat to Live by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. If you can get it, get it. On page 57, paragraph 3, listen to what he says. He said, these two bodies, the brain and the digestive tract, have a lot in common with one another. What hurts one hurts the other, so treat both of them well. The brain and the belly are not independent, they're interdependent. There's bi-directional communication going on right now. Thoughts from the mind go to the stomach, and if you have stressful thoughts, you can have an ulcer, develop Crohn's. Is this right? Whenever you get real scared and nervous, you throw up. What? That's stomach from thoughts. But also, not only can mood affect the food, but food can also affect the mood. If what we eat doesn't affect what we think, why do we call somebody scared of chicken? I know y'all just ate some chicken. Hold on. I'm trying to mess with your wing. I'm trying to mess with your wing. He said, I'm gone. I'm gone. Come back. Come back. When two people got a problem with each other, they got beef with each other. Back in the 60s, whenever you was tricked, they called you a jive turkey. Think about that. You come into a room and things don't seem right. You say it seems a little fishy around here. Food affects mood. So the other thing we can do to get rid of pain is make sure we're feeding the stomach quality food like we feed the brain. Thoughts, information, and food only have one or two natures. It's either tonic or it's toxic. Toxic means what's positive, that promotes healing and life. Toxic meaning what's negative, that promotes disease and death. That's food that you eat, and that's food that you think. What do they call it when you're scrolling through your timeline? Don't they call it your feed? Why do they call it your feed if your brain's not digesting the same way your stomach is? In the Bible, Jesus told Peter, eat of this scroll. He didn't mean eat the paper, but digest it with your mind. So the way that we work, to be honest, we are whatever we put in our mind and whatever we put in our mouth. The nature of them two things. You can't think good thoughts and eat bad food and keep good thoughts. You cannot think bad thoughts and eat good food and change your thoughts into good thoughts. In order to have good thoughts, you got to have good food going in the mouth and good knowledge going into the head. So that's another form of stress release. Eating the right food. Let's get back to that garden. I'm not saying you got to give up meat altogether, but get back to the garden. Make sure you're getting some vegetables into your system. And one day you might want to cut it all out together. I haven't eaten any meat in 32 years. I stopped eating meat when I was, a little before I was 17 years of age. I still eat fish every now and then, but I haven't eaten any meat since I was really 16 and a half. And that's only because somebody told me, or I read How You Live, that you could be addicted to meat. I said, how could you be addicted to meat? And they said, because they're pumping the beef that we eat with, then, this was in the 60s, 21 drugs that were harmful to the human body. I said, what? You can be addicted to food? So I said, well, I'm going to stop eating beef. I stopped eating it, and I craved it for about 6 months, every day. I said, I was an addict. I said, I wanted chicken to do the same thing to me. I stopped eating chicken and did the same thing for a whole year. Came back a little every now and then, every 2 years still kept coming back. So I said, oh man, if you're controlling me, I want to control it, now you're controlling me. So that's some math. That's some math. Those are some good therapies that you can do. And remember this. There's a verse that says you can tell when a man has grown from death into life because he loves the brotherhood. There's certain things you can't get as a man from a woman. You only can get it from brotherly relations with another man. Not otherly relations, they're brotherly relations. It's being brothers, helping each other, holding each other accountable, giving that encouragement, giving that motivation, allowing your spiritual peripheral vision to be activated. You see them going through something and still moving forward. So you say to yourself, if they can do it, I can do it too. That's brotherhood. So you got to have a nice circle, a cadre of brothers that's on the same frequency that you're on. They don't have to be trying to do the same thing you're trying to do, but have to be on the same frequency that you're on, trying to make something happen. You stay around good people, eat you some good food, get you some good exercise, go on a good walk, get you some good praying in and some good reading in to solve the problems, pain will be gone. Pain will be gone. Thank you, Sister Janelle. That was a good question. Anybody else? Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so spiritual question. I noticed how you brought up the children, like the kindergartner was very excited. Wow, like really? Like, how do you get someone that has been through the school system for such a long time and their head is held down? How do you get them excited for what they can do too when they've been discouraged for so long? Like, I'm talking about like grown.
Wrong, right. So, in the world of medicine, they say accurate diagnosis is half the cure. So the minute that you can take the person that's an adult now and have them go back in time where they can find out that spirit killer, that aspiration assassin, that dream snatcher, who was it? What caused you to be derailed? What made you give up on your goals? As soon as they can find out what was said or what was done or who it was and go back to that moment, they halfway cured right then. Now, after that, think about this. There's a scripture that says, where there is life, there's hope. In our book, the Quran, there's a verse that says that God takes souls by night. And whomsoever the decree of death has not yet passed, he returns that soul for them to live again. That means that if we woke up this morning, God still believes in us. So if God still believes in us, who are we to disbelieve in ourselves? So you got to let them know that where there is life, there still is what? Hope. Do you know almost everybody on the planet has been derailed from their purpose? Almost everybody has been. So look what Jesus told everybody. He said, you can't enter the kingdom of heaven except you come as a little child. A little child. Why? Because the little child is less damaged, still curious, forgiving, loves to learn. It's a whole lot of traits of that. So we got to go back to being little children again. But if you accurately diagnose it, they go back and find out it happened to me. There's nobody that is somebody that became somebody without going back to find out who messed them up. Steve Harvey said whenever he was in the 6th grade, his teacher put him in front of the class after he wrote a paper about what he wanted to be, and he said he wanted to be on television like Bill Cosby. Steve Harvey said when he got in front of the class, he thought the teacher, this was a white woman, was putting him in front of the class because his paper was so good, she wanted him to read it to everybody. Look at what she did to Steve Harvey. She said, let me ask you something, Steve. What did you write your paper on? He said, I want to be on television. You want to be on television? Yes, ma'am, I want to be on television. Do you know anybody on television? No, ma'am. Is there any family members that you have on television? No, ma'am. I want you to tear that paper up and go home and write something more realistic or I'm going to flunk. He went home, told his mother. This is a 12-year-old boy. Mom, I was told to write a paper on what I wanted to be in life. I told her I want to be on TV. She told me if I don't know nobody and we don't have nobody in our family on TV, that I need to tear it up and write something more realistic or she's going to flunk me for this paper. His mother made a mistake. She said, well, if that's what the teacher said, that's what you need to do. But at least Steve Harvey had enough sense to get another opinion. When his father came home, he said, Dad, the teacher asked me to write a paper on what I wanted to be in life. I said I want to be on TV. She said, if I don't know anybody on TV, nobody in my family's on TV, tear it up, write something more realistic on the flunk the paper. I told Mom the same thing, and she told me that I need to do what the teacher said. What do you think? He said, let me see that paper. He read it and told Steve Harvey and Steve Harvey's mother, I don't see nothing wrong with this paper. Now, Steve, I want you to go upstairs in your room and shut your door and talk to your mother. I don't know what she said, and he don't either. But I'm pretty sure he told her, don't you ever tell none of our children what they can't become. If that's what he said he wanted to be, he can make it happen. So Steve Harvey's father came upstairs. Look what he did. He said, what we're going to do, we're going to write a paper on something that you want to be a police officer. Put that on there. We'll write the paper. Turn it in to the teacher for the grade. But what I want you to do is take the paper that you wrote about what you really want to be and put it in the top drawer in your bedroom. Before you go to bed at night, I want you to read it. And before you walk out to drink water or do anything, every morning I want you to read it before you walk out of your room. For 7 or 8 years, every time before he went to bed and every time before he left his room, he read, where's Steve Harvey at right now? He's on television. Right? And Steve Harvey found out where the teacher lives. And every year for Christmas, he sends her a TV. So she can make sure she can see him on that TV. It happened to Jay-Z. Listen to one of his songs called Ambition. Him and Pharrell. He said, my teacher told me I'd either be dead or a reefer head I'm not sure if that is how adults are supposed to speak to kids. But our teachers. Then he said, Miss Teacher, I wonder if you're near a speaker. I'm balling out of control. Can you hear my speaker? So the teacher said he wasn't going to be nothing. Pharrell, same way. Malcolm X, same way. Minister Farrakhan, the same way. Happened to me. 6th grade, too. That's where you in, 6th grade? 7th now. 6th grade. Do you know why they do this? Because between 11 and 12 years of age, the brain starts pruning and getting rid of all the things that you haven't put in the service that you've learned. So you're shaping and molding and hardening your personality for life. So I got to catch you right while you're going through a pruning process to make sure that while you're taking out the stuff you haven't acted on, I can send something little negative inside your head to mess you up for life. This is what the teacher's doing. So my teacher told my best friend that you have potential. But I'm letting you know I've seen his type before, and I'm letting you know that he's going to be a nobody in life, and he's going nowhere. And if you want to be something, you better get away from him. And this is my best friend. This is my age. We live right next door to each other. Whenever his electricity's off, you know what I'm saying? I get the extension cord from my house to his. We share clothes. This is my guy. So he told me, when I got back to school, my word is bond. I came to class and I told the teacher, I said, Mr. Dennis, I need to see you in the hallway. He came out, shut the door, and I asked him, I said, did you say that I was going to be a nobody in life and I was going nowhere? He said, no, let me explain myself. I said, no, did you say it or did you not say it? He said, yes, I did. And I told him, I said, for the rest of this year, don't say it to me. I'm going to finish your class, but how can I believe in you as my teacher? And you don't even believe in me as your student. Do you know a couple of years ago I was speaking at Butler University? Guess who had the audacity to come to me after I gave the speech? The no good spirit killer situation. This is what he did. He walked up to me and did it just like this. He said, you know what? I always knew you was going to be something. Problem is, he's probably telling the truth. He just didn't want me to become somebody. So once that person finds you, either you let them make you sad and quit, or you let them make you mad and you defeat. But that's the kind of spirit. You got to put that inside of the person to let them know where there's life, there's hope. If you woke up this morning, God still believes in you, who are you to disbelieve in yourself? Don't let it make you sad, let it make you mad, and then you prove them wrong. That's right. And if they do that with a made-up mind, they can break the cycle that they're in right now. Thank you so much. Very good question.
Thank you.
All right, anybody else before we go? All right.
I got one last question.
One last question, then my sister.
When you said you was going through, like, you know, the different era back in the day, like, and you said, you know, you was asking everybody, like, what did you, like, people you did want to be like? I mean, you might have respected them, you know, but you didn't want to be like where they was at that point. Who was some of the people that, like, dragged you, like, closer to, like, finding out your purpose? And, like, what were some of the things that at that time, like, what did you gravitate to?
Well, so, you know, I knew that if I had interviewed a couple of the, what you would call OGs that looked like they survived the game and still was all right, I knew what they was going to tell me. But I didn't interview them. I interviewed all the people that were on the dope. And I knew that they all sold it, so I was going to be headed that direction if I stayed in that route. And I stopped. See, I was selling weed when I was 10, 11 years old. I was selling powder cocaine when I was 14, 15 years old. I was making as a teenager, this is in 1989, 1990, I was making $3,000 to $5,000 a week back then. That's good money now. I wish I had that money again. But we were selling, I sold a half ounce a dope on the weekdays and an ounce on the weekends, so I was getting a lot of money. And anybody that's ever been in the streets knows it's just as hard to stop selling as it is to stop using. One's addicted to the drug, the other addicted to the money. I was addicted to the money that came from it. So I made up my mind. I said, you know what, I'm done. I told all my partners I'm done. I'm finished. Lo and behold, I was out for 2.5 weeks. And they start moving around the picture, undercover police, with a picture of me asking, who is this? And just so happened that my mother's boyfriend cousin was an informant. We didn't know. He never admitted it, but he was. And he's the one that told him that they was looking for me. So I left and stayed away for a whole 3-4 months. Never talked to nobody, nothing. And during that time, all I knew to do was go back to church. Kept going to church, but I still didn't feel the sting, the resistance for it. But I had a girlfriend at the time whose father knew about the nation. He wasn't in the nation, but they gave me a Message to the Black Man and 2 tapes of Minister Farrakhan, and I read it and listened to it. I said, this is how I've been believing all of my life. I just know how to say it like this. Next thing you know, I came in at 17 years of age. That girlfriend back then, we were together since we were 14. She came in 3 weeks after I did. A year and a half later, we got married, and we just celebrated our 30th year wedding anniversary in July. So she was the intervention by way of tapes, messages, and books. That's how it happened. So it wasn't nobody that came and grabbed me and did nothing. She put something in my ear, and I stepped into it. She stepped with me, and we've been stepping ever since. Now, I'm not trying, don't y'all try this at home. Don't y'all find a little girl no 12 or 13 years old now, then y'all going to be together for life. It don't work. 99% of the time, it don't work. We are the exception, not the rule. So we are blessed to be able to say that we grew up together and we're still growing together. And we have the longevity ingredient that you'll find in all relationships. They did a study around the world on couples that were happily married for over 65 plus years. And they were looking for what was the most common trait among them that kept them together and happy. And they found out that friendship was the longevity ingredient. When the person you're with, you don't just love them, but you like them. When you make them laugh, they make you laugh. You make them happy, they make you happy. You like being around them, they like being around you. That's a friend, not just a partner. And because they had that kind of relationship, they had it, and we were blessed to develop such a friendship growing up together that we had the longevity ingredient even before we got married, and we just stayed with it all the way through the process. Thank you, sir. Yes, ma'am. Last question.
I just want to know, how can I encourage to be more active readers? That way we can kind of encourage more knowledge.
Good. Pay them. Pay your children.
I'm sorry.
Pay your children money. Give them money.
Pay him? Yeah.
Give them money. No, this is what I did. So my children, anytime I seen them wrestling with something, whatever it was, I would find books on the subject. In the summertime, I would let them know that for every book you read, that's $100. But I'm going to quiz you. That means you got to read them too. So I had to know what to ask because I had to read it too, so for me to do the quiz. They were taking notes, then I would quiz them. At the end of one of my daughters, she was moving a little too fast. She was at 12 books in like 2 months. You know what I know? Oh, God. I can't tell her to slow down. She got to 14 books in one summer. She read 14 books in one summer. I owed her $1,400. So I was like, all right, my word is bond. Gotta do it. So I'm getting ready. I say, you did so good. And I'm getting the money together. I'm counting the money. Look at what my daughter said. She said, Daddy, that's okay. What I got from what I read is way more valuable than that $1,400. You can keep the money. I still gave her the money, some of the money. Not all of it, some. But the point is that you'll be surprised how much of an incentive that will be. See, one of the problems in the black community is we do too much celebration for athletics and not enough celebration for academics. If our baby won the championship on their little football team, we won't treat them this, buy them this, get them that. Every pizza's on me. But we got to be more toward academics than we are toward athletics. And sometimes it takes incentive to be able to get them to read more. And if you quiz them, they're learning. pay them for learning it, and you'd be surprised how much more cultivation and development that they can develop. There's only a certain amount of time that we're going to be able to be with our children to train and raise them. But if they get a habit of learning how to train themselves and self-motivated, they can become great much faster. So I thank you all so much for allowing me to be here with you all for this great groom set. All the brothers. When I seen the sisters, I had something special just for the brothers, but I had to modify it a little bit because the sisters was in the building. But we still got it. You still got, did y'all get some news you can use? Well, I thank y'all so much. We're going to work out a schedule, and we're going to set up the next presentation. And this one, we're going to have several screen aids that help us walk our way through it. And we're going to give everybody a free copy of each of these sessions that you go. So this is not there, but so this is, I have Sister Chanel, she already got y'all 3 books, all the brothers. One of them came today, the other one, let me see, it's supposed to have been here today. It's 2 books. People said it was going to be here by yesterday, printer. And then they said it was going to be here before. Let me see if we got it here yet. If it's here, we're going to get it back to you. Yeah, let me see what time it is. Look at that sign. Look at the UPS on the right. Time did we get to that? So we have all the other ones, but we have 3 books that are specifically designed and aimed. If you like anything that I had to say today, I'm telling you honest truth. That's not even one chapter of this book, The Mathematics of the Mind. The whole presentation, not even a half of one chapter, what you just heard. So this is the book that we have available for all of the brothers. We have 20 copies of these with us right now. Is it 20 of them in there? A little more than 20. We got a little more than 20. So if anybody else want to get some one, y'all can get them. But Mathematics of the Mind, we have all these for the brothers. The other book that came in and we want you to have is called A Well-Made Man. This is a breakdown of the gender-specific role from scripture, science, and our history of what manhood really looks like. So that book is coming for the brothers. And then we have the other book. It's called How to Heal and Hustle. This is a good book to help you to navigate and to bring down, or really to develop emotional intelligence. You can calm yourself down so you can keep yourself from being too frustrated, stressed out, deal with anxiety, grief, depression, etc. And some good money management tips inside of it as well. This was written by my precious daughter. May Allah be pleased with her. You're going to love them. You're going to love them whenever you get them. So today, for sure, we got the Mathematics of the Mind waiting on you. Brothers, Sister Chanel going to tell me who to give them to.
So everybody's been blessed with, in your swag bag, you all have a copy of the book.
Okay.
And I just want to encourage you all, Brother Nuri does want you all to start reading in advance so you'll be prepared for the next workshop. So there's a little homework to it.
There is. And the other thing, so is that the scanner so this scanner, any of the young brothers, scan this and text the word groom to the number. You're going to scan it, text the word groom from your phone. Soon as you type in your information, I have 3 presentations that I want to send you. It's called a Born to Win series. It's part 1, 2, and 3, Born to Win series. I'm going to send all 3 of them to you. They're free lectures. You can copy and paste and send them wherever you want to send them to. But I'm going to send you all 3 of these. This is something to listen to before our next session. Mathematics of the Mind. Then we're going to get the other 2 to Sister Chanel tomorrow, and she'll get them to the brothers. Is Brother Jonathan here?
No, Brother Jonathan.
Jonathan, what about your brother?
Saran, Brother Derry.
So we'll get them to you tomorrow, and we'll get all of.
Those are your 2 nephews. Say so
Okay.
Shamar, raise your hand. Those are your other brothers.
So we're going to get them to everybody tomorrow, right? Now, the other thing, this groom group, for any of you all that can want to bring in some young brothers in the groom, this is a 24-hour line, intervention line, just for you. If you have any issue, conflict, or problem, and thinking about doing something to yourself or somebody else that you might regret, text me. And I'll call you and we'll sit down and we'll try to make a good decision. Is that okay with y'all?
Absolutely.
So that's at 24-hour access. Y'all got it? Any brothers that y'all bring into groom, we're going to do the same thing for. I have a few people to help me out, because right now I have, around the country, I have 247 young brothers and sisters that we are dealing with that have been suffering from some form of quote-unquote mental illness. And my wife and I, we've already done a little over 50 interventions with a 100% success ratio. 100% success ratio. So if you're ever thinking about hurting somebody or hurting yourself, hit me and let's talk it out, work it out, see how we can make a good decision. Also, if you have any question you want to ask about anything, send it to me. I'll get it and I'll send you an answer to whatever question that you have. And if you ever want to meet and talk, we can try to set it up. I am busy, but I'm going to make time to make it happen. If that's what I want to do, okay? That's for any of the brothers. No matter how old you are, we'll make it happen, all right? To you, young brothers, I'm your uncle now. I'm your uncle. Y'all my nephews, all right? Anything y'all need, other than money, get your uncle. Now, you can hit me for money, too. I just point you to Sister Chanel. She'll get you right. But whatever you all want to talk about, chop it up about, this is a special group just for the groom groups. So text the word groom. And as soon as we have you in the database, we're going to give it to tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to send it out to everybody that's in the system, the 3 lectures. It's really a series called Born to Win. And then we'll let you know when the next meeting is. And we're going to come back for session 2, all right? Yes, y'all good?
Good, sir.
Yes, sir?
I wish I get a quick interview with you after you're done.
You want me to do an interview too?
Yep.
Jasmine.
Whoa. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Whoa, yeah. Is that right?
It's $9.99 plus $4 shipping and half. So we gonna come over there? Is that where you want me to come?
Yeah, right over here is perfect.
Oh, you want me to be in the corner in the dark? Okay.
That's the best one. I got all right.
You got it? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, can I shake some hands and hug some people?
Yeah. There's no pressure.
Thank y'all so much, brothers and sisters.